So today I have a lesser known fruit that I'm sure plenty of people know about, but I think the vast majority of people don't know about this fruit. And if they see it, they're going to think it's something else. So this is a quince. It is a relative of pears and apples, and you can really see the similarities right away. It's much more bumpy than an apple, obviously. And then I've got this one that's definitely a weird shape. So they are in the same family as pears and apples, but they are the sole member of their own genus, Sidonia. They can be used in cooking various things, like I just heard about them being used in pies. And from what I was reading, few varieties can be eaten raw. So we'll see what these are like, because I'm interested to have these. They, from what I was reading, they are somewhat appley and maybe a bit of pear as well. So we'll see what I think about these. They are a very stiff fruit, so I'm wondering if I'm gonna get like some of that like dry mouth taste to this. We'll see. So here's the cross section, and it has a bit of an appley smell to it, but at the same time it does not look or smell very juicy. So here we go. Whoa. Oh yeah. So, immediately getting hit with the dry mouth. It's very intense. And then it becomes like very spongy. And now I'm having trouble chewing it. So the flavor, what little flavor it has before it's drained away and I'm left with just the sponginess, is reminiscent of an apple or a pear. Yeah, I would definitely not choose to have this variety by it just raw. So I think I can handle one more bite, but it's a little much. Get a good side here. So I think I like the flavor, but again, wow. All right, I gotta get rid of this. So that was too much for me. The dry mouth and just the texture is really overpowering. it just turns into like a spongy mass and makes it very difficult to chew. So these are most certainly meant for cooking with, not for eating straight up. But the experience is something, that's for sure. So I'll probably experiment with using these for something. But gosh. I'll have to keep a lookout for varieties that are edible raw, because the flavor was interesting, what little there was, but man, the texture just comes after you, and oof. So this was a quince, an apple and pear relative, and it is, again, little known, and for some reasons that we just experienced together, it's not as popular, but it's another thing that's out there. Do you want another bite?
Not really, but I mean, you're offering. You're pointing a camera at my face. So.
Tell me what you think. It's good. We got a thumbs up.
Okay. Like all the happiness has been sucked out of the room.
I managed like the first couple bites, and then I had to get rid of the third one because
it's like a Dementor. That's the best way I can describe it.
So maybe we can try some recipes with these.
A lot of sugar. Okay, so it's not that bad. The first time when I had this, right after that,
You had a chaser, so.
Yeah, I had a chaser, but like when I had the chaser, I was like solid minute.
Yeah. So I thought the video was going to end there, but a couple developments since I tried those quince. I'll go over them. So I was able to find another variety of quince. At least I think it's another variety. It is nearly twice the size of these smaller ones that I tried. This one is, if I can get a hold of it, just enormous. And when researching the varieties names, I think that these ones may be the pineapple variety, and this one may be the Cook's Jumbo quince. And they all kind of have this little peach fuzz sort of deal on them, and it's kind of faded on some of these, and even this one to a degree. You can kind of see it in some spots now. So these smaller ones that I tried, I've had these other ones. I never got around to cooking them. It's been a month since I filmed that first part of the video, and I haven't gotten around to cooking them. But this is going to give me an opportunity to see how the flavor has changed in ripening them much further. I've read mixed results on that, but we'll see how we fare here. So this is slightly softer. It's still this one is very stiff still. And so the big one here has started to bruise where the sticker was on it. It did not like that, I guess. But I'm going to cut into both of these, and we'll give this smaller variety another shot and see if the flavor has developed any further. And we'll give this jumbo one a shot and see if I can pick up any differences there. So one thing that I was reading was these can be a little bit more palatable if you make them into slices, and of course combine them with other things like apples, because it'll break up the strange texture that these have. I was experiencing a lot of like dry mouth and stuff. And here's the cross section of the jumbo. It definitely has an apple-esque scent to it. I don't know if this one is the pineapple one, then maybe I'll get some pineapple-esque flavor from it. All right. This is after a month of ripening a bit in the fridge, and then I just took them out and left them on the counter to ripen over time. So the flavor is there, not super strong. The dry mouth is lessened quite a lot, and I think that's more because I allowed it to ripen, but probably also a little bit because I'm having a slice this time. I'm getting like hints of it creeping up on me, but ripening it much further has allowed that subtle flavor to come out more, and I can kind of appreciate it a little bit more than I was able to before. It's still very subtle, but it's definitely detectable. It's there. And again, it's kind of appley. Yeah, at this point, ripening it this far to where it's soft enough that it's got a very slight give to it. Now I could probably just eat it like an apple. Yeah, it's not attacking me with that dry mouth. So I'm going to try the big one now. So this one, I can kind of feel it. It's still a bit more stiff than this one has reached. So I'm thinking this one is going to give me some of that dry mouth. All right. This one, on the sign at the store, said that they are best cooked, so... Oh. Interesting. Okay. This one... It's definitely got a lot of the same qualities, but the texture is slightly different and the taste is slightly different. So it's easy to tell that it's got to be a different variety. So this one's not coming after me with the dry mouth. It's a little bit more sweet. Even juicy. That's pretty good.
So maybe what I'll do is cut up all of them and just eat them all together. And the big one will cut through the remaining dryness that I get from the smaller Quince. But this big one's pretty good, actually. It's like... it's kind of a chalky texture. If you've ever had one of those, if you've ever had an apple that's kind of got a chalky texture, it's similar to that, but it's very soft. It's not super sweet, but it's definitely got a sweetness to it and its own like kind of floral flavor. I do like that. Small hints of the dry mouth stuff, but it's not enough to like stop me. I like that. That's a new... well, I feel like I've had that. Whatever's going on, whatever compounds or whatever are going on in that, the Jumbo Quince's flavor, I feel like I've had that before. And my mind is going to like... some sort of medicinal flavorings. I'm not sure. It's something I feel like I've had before, but it's been a long, long time. I'm not sure. But that, I feel like that flavoring is used in something else that I've had before. I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, so that's a couple varieties of quince and different ways to eat them raw. Probably want to ripen certain varieties, like this smaller one, I think is the pineapple variety. It is available. So I'm in Southern California, and this one is generally available in the fall here. I've read that quince are generally available year-round, but the pineapple variety is available here in the fall. So I hope that was helpful and interesting, and I'll see you next time.